So we did it, guys. Disney Plus has now officially arrived here in the UK, and while this video may be irrelevant for many parts of the world, especially in America, I still wanted to make this video anyway, just to let you guys know my first impressions on Disney Plus now that it is officially here in the UK, because I have actually waited the entire time for Disney Plus to arrive. I had the option to, you know, sort myself out and kind of watch the things that are on Disney Plus elsewhere, but given how high quality I knew Disney Plus was going to be and the type of content that they were going to be putting out, I did want to wait to actually watch the content myself when Disney Plus eventually did launch here in the UK, and we are now officially there. So I just want to give my first impressions on the service as a whole, the interface, and also some of the content that they've been putting out already. So let's dive into it. So I want to start off by talking about the interface of Disney Plus, which I was very, very impressed with. I think that it runs super smoothly. It's really nice to navigate around. It's super simple. It's really nice. It's much better than, you know, Amazon Prime or Now TV, which at sometimes are just very clunky and very slow to get around, and it can make things a bit annoying. Whereas with this is a lot more in line with what Netflix does, and it just makes it very smooth and very easy and very simple to navigate around, so you can get to the content you want to watch much quicker. The big kind of difference between this and Netflix, however, which kind of makes it stand out, is that Disney Plus is specifically broken down into 5 distinct sections, which of course comes down to Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic. It's broken down into those 5 specific sections, so if you are looking for something that is specifically Star Wars or something that is specifically Pixar, you can click on that tab and it will take you directly to that page, and it will have all the content from that particular brand, which is a really nice touch, and it's a really nice way of doing it, again, because it makes things simple, it makes things easy to get to and navigate around, and also it just kind of separates it a little bit from Netflix, because in terms of its look and how it actually works and everything like that, it is very similar to Netflix. It's all very much, you know, just kind of lines across the screen that you can scroll through and stuff like that. It's very similar to how Netflix works, but what makes it really good is that, again, you can navigate into those different sectors, so depending on what you want and what brand you want to look into, you have that option off the grate. Also, what I really appreciate about Disney Plus is that if you have a 4K TV or a 4K setup or whatever, like me for example, I have a 4K TV and a Apple TV 4K box, what it actually does is if anything is in 4K, it will be in 4K, and I'm not even talking about the original content, I'm talking about some of the older stuff as well. Like for example, today I was looking through some of the MCU films that are on there, and many of the MCU films have actually been upgraded to 4K on Disney Plus, which is really nice, because I've been trying to kind of, you know, put together a plan to buy all of the 4K Blu-rays for Marvel films, because I own, you know, pretty much everything from Guardians 2 onwards, which is when they started releasing them on 4K here in the UK, but, you know, I was also going to go back and buy some of the other ones, which they are slowly releasing. But what's nice about Disney Plus is that all those films are on 4K, so even films like Ant-Man and Doctor Strange and Captain America Civil War, all of those films that have been released on 4K on Blu-ray recently are actually in 4K on Disney Plus, which is a really nice touch. I also want to go have a look at the Star Wars movies, because I want to see if things like The Force Awakens are on 4K, because that would be really nice if they are. I'm not sure if that will be, but maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. But it's really nice that, again, some of those things that if you have sort of a higher end TV, you can appreciate the content in higher quality, which was a really nice touch. So enough about the service, let's talk about what the real meat and potatoes is of Disney Plus, which is of course the content. So I'm going to just jump straight into it. Let's talk about The Mandalorian. I'm going to step over here so I can put the poster there. The Mandalorian is wonderful. I started watching it and I was just... It was exactly what I thought it was going to be, and exactly what I hoped it was going to be. It's a super high quality Star Wars story done in a style of a Western. It's really well executed, it's beautifully shot, incredibly directed. Of course, the direction and the directors they hired for season 1 of The Mandalorian are absolutely incredible. I mean, Dave Filoni, who is of course the kind of spearhead behind Star Wars on the TV side at least, especially with things like Clone Wars and Rebels, he directed the first episode, and Rick Famuyiwa, who directed things like Dope, and he was actually going to direct The Flash a couple of years ago, he directed the second episode, and it's just absolutely top notch. Now, I'm only talking about the first 2 episodes here, because here in the UK we have actually only got the first 2 episodes, and it's going to be released weekly from here on in. Which is a weird thing. Like, I find it strange that they are releasing it weekly, given the fact that, of course, the entire season is now out and is available in the US. But I think the reason they're doing it is because if they release the entire season now, I think people would basically do the 7-day free trial, watch the entire season of The Mandalorian, and then obviously they wouldn't get those kind of people coming back. So I think it's kind of a tactic to keep people subscribing for a long amount of time. But The Mandalorian as a show, I was super impressed with it. Again, the budget of this thing is absolutely insane. It's one of those things where you just look at it and you're going, how is this TV? Because if you put this next to, you know, most recently, you know, the most recent Star Wars film, which is of course The Rise of Skywalker, if you put them side by side, you cannot tell me that they are any different in terms of their budget size. Like, it is ridiculous how good this show looks, and the acting was awesome. The world that they establish is great. I love delving into these darker, more kind of gringy areas of the Star Wars universe. That's kind of what we were getting in Solo a little bit, and what Star Wars 1313 was going to dive into if we ever got that released. I really like the idea of kind of delving into the underworld of crime within the Star Wars universe, and that's what The Mandalorian's doing. And of course, Baby Yoda, actually seeing him for the first time, you know, properly myself, watching the show itself. Yeah, he's the most adorable thing on the planet. I also checked out High School Musical, the series, and here in the UK we have the first episode of that only, and I was really impressed with this. I went into it expecting it to be, you know, this really weird reboot of the series or whatever, but it's just not what I expected it to be at all. This isn't a reboot. This basically says the High School Musical in this universe is actually a movie. It just happens that they shot it at this school. So what happens is this new drama teacher shows up and goes, right, I can't believe that this school has never done a High School musical before, so I'm going to do it. So it's basically, you know, it's very self-aware. Like, it knows High School Musical is a film. It knows that, you know, it's played by actors. Like, it's not pretending High School Musical is a real thing, which I really like, because this also isn't necessarily a musical in the vein of something like Glee. This actually is very, again, self-aware. It references Zac Efron. It references, you know, Vanessa Hudgens. So it has that self-aware ability to it, which makes it so much more likable than it would have been otherwise. I don't think this show would have worked for me if it wasn't as self-aware as it was, and I'm definitely going to continue watching it, because again, what I like about Disney Plus is like a separate thing, and I know I'm probably going to be in the minority with this, but I actually really like the fact that they are releasing things weekly, and I also like the fact that their shows are around 30 minutes long. I think that, you know, some shows, depending on them, can go on so long, and they can go on for many episodes, and they can go on for, you know, even the episodes can go with 50 minutes to an hour. For me, I find that too long, and you know, I really like the fact that Disney Plus is doing these smaller, more condensed shows, because it makes things really poppy and quick and easy, and it makes things really attainable. So I really like how they're kind of dealing with that. So, you know, I think the fact that I was able to try this first episode, it's only half an hour long, and can come out of it, I was happy with it, and I was really satisfied. And again, I'm actually going to continue watching this because I was really impressed with it, and I really liked it. And the final piece of original content I checked out from Disney Plus was The World According to Jeff Goldblum. And this show is just wonderful. It's just truly joyous. I mean, of course, traveling around the world with Jeff, nothing gets better with that. And I think that Jeff Goldblum, you know, he's the perfect person to do something like this, because he's just got such this childlike wonder to him. You know, he just kind of is fascinated and amazed by everything, you know, things that he doesn't recognize or fully understand. He just wants to know about it. So to kind of join him on this journey and to go with him, it's just a really easy show to watch and get into, because again, unlike something like High School the Musical or The Mandalorian, which are obviously like fictional, narrative-driven things, this is more documentary style, of course, and it's all based on just real stuff, and it's really nice just to sit back and relax with this show. You know, you can just literally lean back in your chair, get some snacks, and just enjoy it, and it's really fun. I've watched the first 2 episodes of this, and for some reason, the world of Jeff Goldblum, literally every single episode is on here in the UK, so like, we don't have all The Mandalorian, we don't have all the High School Musical, but we have all of the Jeff Goldblum show. I don't know, but you know, I've watched the first 2 episodes, and it's such an enjoyable piece of content just to kind of, again, kick back and relax with. So, you know, I think that this is easily one of the biggest highlights of Disney Plus right now, and I don't know if it's been renewed for season 2. It might have been, but if it isn't, Disney, get on it. So overall, I am very impressed with Disney Plus so far, and I haven't even spoken about the back catalogue of the library that Disney Plus has. Of course, it has hundreds and thousands of movies and TV series from Disney history. You know, I've been very much enjoying The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and The Sweet Life on Deck as it's been going on. But, you know, there's just so much content on Disney Plus, and again, the fact that the service itself is very well made and performs very well, it's just the icing on the cake, really. So I think it's a really nice piece of content and a really nice service to kind of add to it. You know, obviously, it's going to be very expensive with all these streaming services, with Netflix and Prime and everything like that. It might build up for a few people, but if you're a fan of Disney and you are looking forward to the content that they are making, or you like the content that they are making so far, I think this is definitely a great service to invest into, and also it's not that expensive, so if you really want to get into it, I definitely recommend it. Again, if you're not interested in anything on the service, then I don't think that, you know, trying it will really change your opinion on it. Of course, try the trial if you want to, but in terms of like, would I recommend this service? Yeah, I'd recommend it. I think if you like Disney, if you're into the stuff it's providing, absolutely. This isn't like Apple TV Plus, where for me, I tried that streaming service, and technically I'm still paying for it because I got a year free with it. But I went on that service for about a week, and you know, after a couple days, I was completely bored. I was just like, there's nothing on this service for anybody really, and I couldn't really recommend it. Whereas with Disney Plus, if you are into Disney, you have to get it. If you're not into Disney, maybe just try it, see what you might find stuff you might like, but if you're into it, you will love this. So I definitely recommend it and definitely check it out. But have you guys been trying out Disney Plus in the UK? If you have, make sure to let me know all your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Do you like it? Do you subscribe to it? Will you continue to subscribe to it? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, guys, if you want to see more movie reviews and movie-related videos just like this one, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload from me. And I hope to see you guys again next time.